Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Eldritch Stronghold. I'm Mitchell, and today we have spoiler day 4. It was technically yesterday, but I got busy after work, so I wasn't able to make a video. So today I'll be covering the ones from Friday, as well as any that came Saturday morning or late last night. We'll start with Belligerent. For 2, a blue and a red. You get a legendary artifact vehicle. It's a 5/5. Whenever it attacks, you create a treasure token, and until the end of the turn, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands and cast spells on the top of your library, and you create it for 3. Sorry, that was my cat playing with a bag in the background. Alright, moving on. We got this Merfolk, Tishana's Tidebinder. 2 colorless and a blue. It's a Merfolk for 3/2. Has flash. Whenever it enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target activated ability. Activated or triggered ability. If an artifact, creature, or planeswalker ability is countered this way, that permanent loses all abilities until Tishana's Tidebinder leaves the battlefield. This seems like a pretty good Merfolk. Not only does it counter something, you can also make like an artifact lose the abilities. Or a planeswalker. That's pretty strong. We'll head back. This is Temple Bell and Fist of Suns from the special guest cards. Restless Ridgeline. Enters battlefield tapped. It taps for a red or a green. You can pay 2, a red and a green, and it becomes a 3/4 red and green dinosaur creature till the end of the turn, and it's still a land. Whenever Restless Ridgeline attacks, another target attacking creature gets +2, +0 until the end of the turn, and you untap that creature. Another cycle in the manlands. We'll move on to this guy. Entai Sun's Caretaker. 1 colorless and a red. Legendary creature, Human Knight. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. That creature gains trample until the end of turn. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. This card seems pretty cool. It's a discard outlet that can probably trigger some combos. Next one, Brass's Tunnel Grinder. 2 colorless and a red. Legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards +1. So like a cool wheel effect for yourself. That's pretty good already. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, put a boar counter on Brass's Tunnel Grinder. Then if there are 3 or more boar counters on it, remove those counters and transform it. Oh, okay, so it transforms to... I'm probably gotta click it. A legendary land. It's a cave. Tekutlan, the Searing Rift. Taps for a red. Whenever you cast a permanent spell using the mana produced by this, discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. So it draws you cards and then becomes a land later. Not too bad. Kind of like this little gnome dude right here. It's a compass. It is a common, but I just like the art. And it's just battlefield. You search for a basic land card or a cave card, reveal it, and put it on top. Not the best, but the art's sweet. Another of the manland cycles, Restless Anchorage. When it enters the battlefield tapped, taps for a white or blue. You can pay 1 white and a blue. And until the end of turn, this becomes a 2/3 white and blue bird creature with flying. It's still a land. Whenever it attacks, you create a map token. And I believe that the map token was the artifact you could tap, sack, and explore. Braided Net for 2 and a blue. It's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield with 3 net counters on it, you can tap it, remove a net counter from it, tap another target non-land permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it remains tapped. and you can craft with an artifact and one in a blue. And when you craft it, it becomes the braided Q. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that second word. 3 in a blue, you tap it, draw a card for each artifact you control, then put this onto its owner's library third from the top. So pass some stuff down, then draw some cards, tap some stuff down. It's pretty cool. Here's the blue god. I really like this for being the, I think, what is like the Aztec, like god of storms or whatever that is, the Quetzalcoatl. The thing looks pretty sweet. It's the deepest epoch. 2 and 2 blue for a legendary creature god. It's a 4/3 with flying. Whenever you cast an instant spell from your hand, it gains rebound. And then whenever this dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its own control with 3 time counters on it. He'll flip over to this land. It taps for blue, and you remove a time counter from it. And then you pay 3 and tap it, and you transform it. But you can only do it if it has no time counters on it. So you just can pretty much gotta tap the land 3 times, and then you can replay the god. Next card is Queen's Bay Paladin. For 3 colorless and 2 black, you get a Vampire Knight. It's a 5/4. Whenever Queen's Bay Paladin enters the battlefield or attacks, return up to 1 target vampire card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. You lose life equal to its mana value. It's a reanimate spell. Sadly, it's only for vampires. The artwork's sweet. Pretty much, I dig anything with purple in the art. Moving up to Resplendent Angel. I think, yeah, this is a reprint. 1 mana, 2 white, or 1 colorless, 2 white for 3/3 Angel with flying. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. And for 6 mana, 3 colorless, 3 white, to the end of the turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. So you can pay that mana, make it the 5/5 to get the 4/4. The boat is next. The Subterranean Schooner. It's one colorless and a blue for a vehicle. Whenever this attacks, target creature that crewed it this turn explores. So I can grow the creatures that crew it, and then we can also find you some lands. I like that we're getting more ships. Earthshaker Dreadmaw. 6 mana. It's a 6/6. Trample. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each other dinosaurs you control. We always get this. We always get like a 6 mana 6/6 with trample here, but this one is a dinosaur that has that added draw text on it, which I kind of like. Skip over to the Restless Vents. It's another one of the manland cycles. It enters battlefield tapped. It taps for a black or a red. For 1 colorless, a black and a red until the end of the turn. Restless Vents becomes a 2/3 black and red insect creature with menace. It's still a land, but whenever it attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, you draw a card. That one actually seems pretty decent. I mean, just a land that draws cards is nice and has menace. And yeah, I believe that's all we'll talk about today. Yeah, so we'll be back Monday with more spoilers, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend.